You can never do enough for an abusive man, right? You can do everything right and it's never enough, or you didn't do it well enough or fast enough or whatever. You're just wrong. You give more, and I'm telling you, the expectations are just going to increase. It never becomes enough. The goalpost is just always moving. He says he has a problem, so you fix it, but then another problem. It's like a game of whack-a-mole. A guy like this will say crazy things to you like,
"You never support me. You don't do anything around here. I'm the one who does everything."
It is absolutely crazy making, because what's wild is in an abusive relationship, you're typically doing everything, all while being told you do nothing. So I want to explain why these guys do this and what it does to you, what this actually costs you. Before we go any further, my name is Lisa Sonni. I'm a certified relationship coach. I'm an author. I'm a speaker, and I help women get out of these toxic, abusive relationships, make sense of it, and then ditch all that YouTube university stuff that we learn and actually shift the focus onto ourselves, because that's actually where things start to change. That's where the healing is. You can work with me one-on-one in my group coaching programs or inside my online survivor community called She Rises Collective. But in the meantime, hit subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this. Now, let's just kind of kick this off with a bit of a truth bomb here, right? This is unwinnable. You're in a double bind, you're in a no-win situation, and that's kind of the point. The standard is always changing. So every time you might possibly even remotely meet a standard that he said, suddenly he never said that, gaslighting, and you need to try harder. You're never enough. There's no finish line because you are set up to fail. It's like playing a game of bamboozled. He's a taker. He's not a partner. This is a person who wants to take. And what's unfortunate is that he partnered with you, a giver. This is not mutual. There's no reciprocity in these relationships. You know the term breadcrumbs, right? There's a reason. It's because these little tiny crumbs start to feel like reciprocity. Well, he's not all bad. Sometimes he's nice. Yes, sometimes he sprinkles a few crumbs on your plate so that you stay, so that you keep trying. But at the end of the day, this guy takes so much more than he gives. It's actually your effort that is sustaining this entire relationship. And I'm telling you, it's why you're exhausted. Your effort is very much expected. It's demanded. If you're not putting in effort, what are you even doing here, right? You need to be trying and proving yourself constantly. You ever notice that his effort is basically optional? He can show up when he wants, put in the effort whenever he sort of feels like it. And if you notice, I would argue that his effort comes in when he wants something from you, when he wants sex, when he's in a good mood briefly, but then that just goes away. He's only ever reciprocating just to give you just enough to keep you doing all the work. The crazy thing too is that when you're doing everything and someone's telling you that you're not doing enough, it kind of inspires this defensiveness in you. And then you start to try harder because you don't want to be seen as a person who's not contributing to the relationship or not trying. You think, hey, he's not even seeing my effort and I'm doing all of this work. Let me try harder. Instead of going, why doesn't this guy appreciate anything? He's ungrateful. I'm going to leave. Though I will always flag, leaving is not easy. You know, an abusive relationship is incredibly hard to leave, especially because you're kind of oscillating between two realities, right? He is good and he's bad. He's the pain and the comfort. And it makes sense that we stick around and try to make this work. We think that more effort is going to change things. But this is a guy who's trying to get more from you by using this, you're not doing enough and you're not supportive, as a tactic. Nothing you actually do is quite right? You used the wrong words, you brought it up at the wrong time. It's just not quite enough. Just do a little more. You cooked, but did you do the dishes? You did the laundry, but did you put it away? Did you fold his underwear? Did you fold them the way he likes it? You had a hard day at work? Not as hard as him. He works harder than you. He has a blue-collar job. You only have an office job. Why are you bringing things up on a Tuesday night after work? Why are you trying to pick a fight? Why are you dogpiling him with old issues? Another thing that these guys do is they compare you to other people.
My ex-girlfriend always did the laundry and she didn't complain. My mom had dinner on the table every night for my dad and she wasn't struggling.
Or one of my favorite ones, right? When we first met, you used to, back when he used to reciprocate and be kind to you and you stopped doing things for him that you used to do because it's not being reciprocated. But now he'll frame it as he stopped because you stopped when that's not actually what happened. But how do you have that debate? How do you have that argument? It's circular. You can't win because it's like a chicken and the egg thing. You can't seem to really prove it. even though you know it. I know you know it, but he makes you think that you're just crazy. That's not what happened. He's reacting to you. You're not reacting to him. And here you go down that crazy-making rabbit hole. A guy like this, he'll use guilt to get more from you, right? You don't do enough. Other women do more. Other women are better mothers, better wives, have more sex with their husbands than you do. And the truth is, if you really loved him, you would fulfill every one of his needs like a friggin' genie. And so when you don't comply, when you don't do your little dance and jump higher and do more for him on command just because he tells you that you're not supportive and not doing enough, you get punished. There's always going to be some kind of consequence. And that's the part that people kind of skip past, is that it's like, why do women stay in relationships where someone is constantly criticizing you? Because of conditioning, because of punishments and consequences. Now, consequences are always very, very customized. They're bespoke. So if withdrawing really affects you, if when he pulls away, you feel, this pull towards him, he's going to use that. My abuser used relentless talking at me repeatedly until I would just flip out and give in and comply because God, just make the talking stop. Tell me in the comments which type you've been dealing with of those two guys that I just described. But here's the trap, okay? You believe that effort is actually going to fix this, that there's some amount of work that you can do that'll make it all click for him, that you'll finally meet his standard. You're acting like you don't understand. I believe you already understand. This is a no-win game. You're going to keep trying, keep doing your little tap dance, and there's no award at the end. You think that clarity is going to change him, that some kind of insight is going to change him? Absolutely not, because he doesn't want to change. Because what's happening, this dynamic that I'm describing, that's what he wants. This is the result of the strategy that he's using. And the cost of this is that you constantly keep trying, you're exhausted, you overthink everything, and you have lost yourself. You have completely lost your identity. Now you are a doer, a peacekeeper, a fixer, a manager, a chameleon. You're doing all of these things to perform for him. To get what? Breadcrumbs? You're responsible for everything. This is what I'm talking about. You go back to what I said at the beginning. You are doing everything, all while being told that you do nothing. My clients are constantly describing these scenarios to me where they do 98% of the housework, they do all of the childcare, they do indoor chores, outdoor chores, they take their own cars to the mechanic, they take their own cars to get oil changes, they're shoveling their own friggin' driveways in most cases. These guys are doing bare minimum, if anything at all. And somehow they convince intelligent, smart women that they're the ones not trying hard enough, that they need to do more. The reality is, nothing is ever going to be good enough for a man like this because the game is completely rigged. I need you to understand how much a man like this really benefits from you continuing to try. Because when you're trying, he doesn't have to. You're already agreeing to the premise that the problem is that you're not trying hard enough, so you keep trying. Now, on the flip side, if you don't agree to that premise and you say, you know what, actually, I don't believe a damn word you're saying, it's you that's not trying hard enough, that's not going to inspire him to try harder. He's actually going to probably show you what doing nothing actually looks like. And then maybe he'll stop doing the one thing that he does sometimes, like take the garbage out once a week. This is a system that works really well for him exactly as it is. So he actually has absolutely no reason to change. You realize that if he were to change, he would have to do things, right? He'd have to contribute, participate in his own life. Why would he do that when he can have you running around doing everything for him? The amount of women that are making their doctor's appointments, making their dentist appointments, reminding them of things, putting events in the calendar, and then still being told, you didn't remind me. It's absolute insanity to be doing all of that and then be told, you're not doing enough. The shift is actually going to really hit you when you just stop trying to meet this unmeetable expectation. I want you to give up. The expectation is the trap. Step right out of the trap. Just walk out of it. Doing more for someone like this is going to keep you stuck. So start really looking at who's responsible for what, decide what is a reasonable amount. And as long as you are safe to step out of this role, I would love you to, of course, step out of the relationship, but I'm not going to pretend that that's the natural, immediate next step. Sometimes you have to find ways to do less while you're there, but keeping yourself safe because abuse is progressive. You never know. But you do want to keep yourself doing a lot less than you've been doing so that you're not constantly exhausted. Think about what's actually reasonable. What is your capacity? And should you be doing more than your quote partner is actually doing? Stop managing his feelings. Stop overgiving. Give what makes sense. And watch for reciprocity. Actually track it in your own mind. I do not recommend tracking it out loud to him because, again, no win arguments. There's absolutely no point in doing that whatsoever. Why are you still trying to be enough for someone who literally sets you up to fail? If you want to change this dynamic, if you are exhausted, you want to change your life, work with me one-on-one or inside my group coaching programs. I have two. One is called Trauma Bond Recovery Group Coaching Program for women who are still in the relationship, still feel really stuck, kind of maybe caught between that I love him and I hate him feeling. And then I have Rise and Rebuild for women who have broken free of a man like this and want to reconnect with themselves and break patterns like this. Both of these programs are 12 weeks, action-focused, and they're a mix of group education as well as sharing and meeting other women in nice, intimate groups. The other option is She Rises Collective, which is my online survivor community, which you can join and get 24/7 support and workshops and special events and more. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.